Kalevala, Rune VI. Wainamoinen, old and truthful, now arranges for a journey to the village of the Northland, to the land of cruel winters, to the land of little sunshine, to the land of worthy women. Takes his Lightfoot royal racer, then adjusts the golden bridle, lays upon his back the saddle, silver-buckled copper stirrups, seats himself upon his courser, and begins his journey northward. Plunges onward, 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 galloping along the highway, in his saddle gaily fashioned, on his dappled steed of magic, plunging through Wainola's meadows, o'er the plains of Kalevala. Vast and far he galloped onward, galloped far beyond Wainola, bound over the wastes of water, till he reached the blue sea's margin. Wetting not the hooves in running, but the evil Youkahainen nursed a grudge within his bosom, in his heart the worm of envy, envy of this Wainamoinen. Of this wonderful enchanter he prepares a cruel crossbow, made of steel and other metals, paints the bow in many colors, molds the top piece out of copper, trims his bow with snowy silver, gold he uses too in trimming. Then he hunts for strongest sinews, finds them in the stag of Hisi, interweaves the flax of Lempo. Ready is the cruel crossbow, string and shaft and ends are finished. Beautiful the bow and mighty, surely cost it not a trifle. On the back a painted courser, on each end a colt of beauty. Near the curve a maiden sleeping, near the notch a hare is bounding. Wonderful the bow is fashioned, cut some arrows for his quiver, covers them with finest feathers. From the oak the shaft he fashions, makes the tips of keenest metal. As the rods and points are finished, then he feathers well his arrow, from the plumage of the swallow, from the wing quills of the sparrow, hardens well his feathered arrows, and imparts to each new virtues, steeps them in the blood of serpents, in the virus of the adder. Ready now are all his arrows, ready strung his cruel crossbow, waiting for a wise Wainamoinen. Youkahainen, Lapland's minstrel, waits a long time, is not weary. Hopes to spy the ancient singer, spies at day dawn, spies at evening. Spies he ceaselessly at noontime, lies in wait for the magician, waits and watches as in envy. Sits he at the open window, stands behind the hedge and watches. In the footpath waits and listens, spies along the balks of meadow. On his back he hangs his quiver, in his quiver feather arrows, dipped in virus of the viper. On his arm the mighty crossbow, waits and watches, and unwearied listens for the boathouse window, lingers at the end of Fog Point, by the river flowing seaward, near the holy stream and whirlpool, near the sacred river's firefall. Finally, the Lapland minstrel, Youkahainen of Pohjola, at the breaking of the dawn day, at the early hour of morning, fixed his gaze upon the northeast, turned his eyes upon the sunrise, saw a black cloud on the ocean, something blue upon the waters, and soliloquized as follows. Are those clouds on the horizon, or perchance the dawn of morning? Neither clouds on the horizon, nor the dawning of the morning. It is ancient Wainamoinen, the renowned and wise enchanter, riding on his way to Northland on his steed, the royal racer, magic courser of Wainola. Quickly now young Youkahainen, Lapland's vain and evil minstrel, filled with envy, grasps his crossbow, makes his bow and arrows ready for the death of Wainamoinen. Quick his aged mother asked him, spake these words to Youkahainen. For whose slaughter is this crossbow? For whose heart thy poisoned arrows? Youkahainen thus made answer. I have made this mighty crossbow, fashioned bows and poisoned arrows, for the death of Wainamoinen, thus to slay the friend of waters. I must shoot the old magician, the eternal bard and hero, through the heart and through the liver, through the head and through the shoulders. With this bow and feathered arrows, thus destroy my rival minstrel. Then the aged mother answered, thus reproving, thus forbidding. Do not slay good Wainamoinen, ancient hero of the Northland, from a noble tribe descendant, he, my sister's son, my nephew. If thou slayest Wainamoinen, ancient son of Kalevala, then alas, all joy will vanish, perish all our wondrous singing. Better on the earth the gladness, better hear the magic music than within the nether regions in the kingdom of Tuwani, in the realm of the departed, in the land of the hereafter. Then the youthful Youkahainen thought a while and well considered. Ere he made a final answer, with one hand he raised the crossbow, but the other seemed to weaken as he drew the cruel bowstring. Finally, these words he uttered, as his bosom swelled with envy. Let all joy forever vanish. Let earth's pleasures quickly perish. Disappear earth's sweetest music. Happiness depart forever. Shoot I will this rival minstrel, little heeding what the end is. Quickly now he bends his firebow. On his left knee rests the weapon, with his right foot firmly planted. Thus he strings his bow of envy, takes 3 arrows from his quiver, chooses well the best among them, carefully adjusts the bowstring, sets with care the feathered arrow. To the flaxen string he lays it, holds the crossbow to his shoulder, aiming well along the margin at the heart of Wainamoinen. Waiting till he gallops near her, nearer in the shadow of a thicket, speaks these words while he is waiting. Be thou flaxen string elastic, swiftly fly thou feathered ashwood, swiftly speed thou deadly missile, quick as light thou poisoned arrow, to the heart of Wainamoinen, if my hand too low should hold thee. May the gods direct thee higher, if too high mine eye should aim thee. May the gods direct thee lower. Steady now he pulls the trigger, like the lightning fires the arrow. O'er the head of Wainamoinen to the upper sky it darteth, to the highest clouds it pierces, scatters all the flock of lamb clouds on its rapid journey skyward, not discouraged, quick selecting, quick adjusting, Youkahainen quickly aiming, shoots a second, speeds the arrow, swift as lightning, much too low he aimed the missile. Into earth the arrow plunges, pierces to the lower regions, splits into the old sand mountain. Nothing daunted, Youkahainen, quick adjusting, shoots a third one. Swift as light, it speeds its journey, strikes the steed of Wainamoinen, strikes the lightfoot ocean swimmer, strikes him near his golden girdle, through the shoulder of the racer. Thereupon wise Wainamoinen headlong fell upon the waters, plunged beneath the rolling billows, from the saddle of the courser, from his dappled steed of magic. Then arose a mighty storm wind, roaring wildly on the waters, bore away old Wainamoinen far from land upon the billows, on the high and rolling billows, on the broad sea's great expanses. Boasted then young Youkahainen, thinking Vaino dead and buried. These the boastful words he uttered, Nevermore, old Wainamoinen, nevermore in all thy lifetime, while the golden moonlight glistens, nevermore wilt fix thy vision on the meadows of Wainoa, on the plains of Kalevala. Full 6 years must swim the ocean, tread the waves for 7 summers, 8 years ride the foamy billows in the broad expanse of water, 6 long autumns as a fir tree, 7 winters as a pebble, 8 long summers as an aspen. Thereupon the Lapland minstrel hastened to his room delighted, when his mother thus addressed him, Hast thou slain good Wainamoinen, slain the son of Kalevala? Youkahainen thus made answer, I have slain old Wainamoinen, slain the son of Kalevala, that he now may plow the ocean, that he now may sweep the waters, on the billows rock and slumber. In the salt sea plunged he headlong, in the deep sank the magician. Sideways turned he to the seashore, on his back to rock forever, thus the boundless sea to travel, thus to ride the rolling billows. This the answer of the mother. Woe to earth for this thine action, gone forever joy and singing. Vanished is the wit of ages. Thou hast slain good Wainamoinen, slain the ancient wisdom singer, slain the pride of Suwantala, slain the hero of Wainoa, slain the joy of Kalevala.